whether we choose to admit it or not, money plays a huge part in our lives. It can determine what you can do, where you can go, and sometimes who you become.
So learning how to manage your money the right way is an important step towards taking control of your life.
And this morning, we have our resident financial coach, Mr. Ming, to provide some advice on how to manage money so money doesn't manage you.
Precisely. Welcome to the show.
Welcome back,
welcome back.
Yes.
So tell us what it actually means to manage your money. I know the last time we were here, we always have a fancy board, and I play Vanna White.
Thank you for that. Thanks for that.
Most welcome. Tell us what it means to maximize your money in this sense.
Yeah, I think the idea is there's a difference between making money and managing money.
Okay.
You know? Because the purpose of making money is to create money from nothing. Okay, it's either the job that we're actually doing now, maybe as a host, or as an accountant, or you're running a business.
Right.
So basically, you try to actually create money. Okay, and the purpose of managing money is to manage the money that you have already created. So the salary that you got, the income, the profit, the dividend you got, what do you do with that?
Right. So are we talking about investment?
Investment is part of the money management.
Right.
And it will say that in making money, basically is that you are working for money. You know? Whereby in managing money, we should talk about how do we make money work for us.
Right.
Okay? So that is the definition of managing money and versus making money. Yeah.
Okay. So how do we manage our money?
Yeah. I think very importantly, I think we need to actually manage the money. Okay? So the reason why we need to manage money is actually for the three reasons. Number one is that if we don't manage our money, the money that we make may not accumulate.
Okay.
I don't know whether you heard of this law called Parkinson law, whereby your expenses will somehow rise to meet your income. So you don't have to worry about how much money you make, whether you make 10,000 per month, 50,000 a month, 30,000 per month, somehow your expenses will naturally rise to meet.
Because the more you earn, the more spending power you think you have,
Yes.
and then you tend to also increase your expenditure.
Yes. So number one, if you don't manage your money, chances are your money don't accumulate. Okay. Number two is that you need to grow the money. Okay.
Right.
The money that you're assuming that you save it, you put in a saving account. It may just give you only 2% interest.
Right.
Okay. But actual fact in KL, I think our inflation rate is 4%. So actually, not only the money is not growing, it's actually reducing. Okay, so you need to do something to find somewhere to grow so it can hedge against inflation and at the same time help you to achieve your retirement goals and other goals.
Right.
Point number three, why we need to manage money is because that the money that we actually make, we need to actually protect it as well. Say for example, the money that we may actually invest in a property, a house or property investment.
Right.
So if you do not actually get a proper fire insurance, things like that, if just in case there's a fire that burn down our house, the money we make also get disappear. So, see, another example is like for business owner. When they actually go into business, I don't know whether you go into any business as well. So you may sign some personal guarantee to your creditors or the bank.
I see.
So if you do not actually protect your assets, chances are when you fail to pay the loan, this creditor may come to access to your asset that you have accumulated. So that's why point number three for money management, you need to protect your money. So basically, the idea of managing money is about the concept of earn money and unearned money. But in Malaysia, I think a lot of times that we want to spend time chasing for money that we have not earned. No? Whereby you forget that we should actually also manage the money that we already earn. Yeah.
Okay.
So what's the first step then if you want to know how to manage your
I would
money?
think the first step is that we need to at least actually learn how to accumulate, save the money, manage the expenses that we got, so that we will actually accumulate. Like what you say, got no money, want to manage. So whatever money that you make, unless you're able to accumulate it, keep some at the end of the month, there's nothing to manage.
Right. Okay. So, for example, let's just break it down to expenses and a monthly salary. Say a monthly salary is 8,000 ringgit.
Okay.
How much of the 8,000 ringgit should be set aside for basic expenses and then, what you call expendable cash, where you can go and shopping and buy a new bag or something like that?
So I would say that actually, I think very importantly in actually managing money is that we are able to actually save the money.
Right.
Okay. So in order to save money, I would say that easily at least 60%, at least actually 40% of what you make need to be saved. Okay.
I'm in trouble already.
Put it aside, and then only spend on the rest of the 60%.
Right, so you should
Yes.
save, say, 40% of what you earn every month.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
And even those savings that you're supposed to save 40% or X amount of money
Yes.
should be saved at a place where it will
It will
Grow.
grow.
It will grow. So instead of just saving it, okay, in the saving account, you should save into the area whereby it will also grow.
Okay.
Higher than inflation rate, 4%. Okay. So that it will be able to support our financial freedom goals like retirements, like buying a bigger house, like also providing for children's university education and etc.
So
Yeah.
what are some of the things that we can do with our money besides putting it into a savings account? I know for a lot of people, there's the Amanah Saham Bumiputera, ASB, which gives out very high dividends. But what else are out there for people who don't have access to such an account?
I think what importantly is that once we save the money, we need to go and actually research, okay, the different alternative available for actually investment. So of course you can see other than Amanah Saham, then you have got the, of course, EPF is definitely one of the ways you can actually save. Insurance, one of the ways that you can save. Unit trust, okay, property investment, share markets, and there are quite a number of variety offered by the bank.
How do you know what's good for you,
Because
though?
it's scary and intimidating. Okay, I'm going to put my money in unit trusts and shares and stuff, but like, how do I choose it? Because I'm not business savvy.
Besides, of course,
Yes.
giving you a call.
Yes.
But, you know.
Yes, I think very importantly is that what we need to do is that we need to actually identify, like, for example, what kind of target return. Once we actually save the money, we need to set a target as to like, we should target it for like 10% return, okay, or 12% return, or even 8% return.
But the higher the return, the higher the risk,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
See, I
So
still
that's why
remember what
I
you
said-
taught me the last time.
Yes, very good student. So that's why once you target for actually 8% kind of return,
Right.
then you will look for those investments that can give you the 8% kind of return.
Right.
So you don't look for, it may look like very dummy like that, you know. If you're looking for 8% kind of return of investment, then you should be actually looking for 8% kind of return investment. But actually, a lot of time we don't do that. So chances are, what actually happens is that some people, they're looking for 8%, but they end up actually looking for investment that's too high the risk. For example, going to the share market, going to the small cap kind of actually share, end up, if you are PN17, the money actually gone.
Some
Okay.
people say that you should just invest in property, but even property is just as risky as going to invest in shares and stocks.
Personally, I would actually say that actually there's no one perfect investment. What actually is more important is that for us to know what do we look for, and then to be able to actually do enough homework to understand what are the risks in investing in property, know what are the return that we can get from investing in property, and knowing how to manage a risk and enjoy the return. No, the same thing also like unit trust and also share market. There's no good or bad about share or unit trust investment. It's just only that whether we equip ourselves with enough knowledge, with enough actually principle, okay, so that when we actually invest into the unit trust, properties or share, we know what are the risks and we know how to manage the risk. Yes. So that's why I'm also in the process of actually forming a Yap Ming Hui Academy of Money Management.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I got so inspired of sharing these tips in money management and financial freedoms. I'm actually in the process of forming an academy.
Okay.
Because the idea is to share with individuals out there as to how they can actually learn, equip themselves with a better knowledge, better principle, so they can actually know how to manage their hard-earned money better.
Yeah.
So
No?
basically, your academy is for your average Joes like myself and Joanne and we
Yes.
and Joe
Yeah.
who go to your academy, or is it for those who plan to be financial coaches and stuff like that?
No, actually, it's more for actually the people like people on the street. No?
I see.
Okay, everybody actually who just aspire to manage their money better.
Right.
Yeah.
For example, you recently had a lecture of sorts.
Okay,
Where you,
a seminar.
a seminar where you
Public
opened it to the
seminar,
public
yes.
and people
Yeah.
came to speak to you. How did that go? What were some of the questions that people had?
Yeah, I guess actually people who actually who attended the seminar, we actually had a full house during the seminar the other day, and actually I also got very excited seeing the kind of actually response from the people wanting to learn about how to manage their money better. So one of the very issue that people actually have is that they want to learn about managing money better, but they just do not know where to learn.
Yeah.
Because I think if you look at our society, we examine it, actually there are three reasons why we don't really get to learn much. Number one, and let's put it this way, managing money is not so exciting, not so sexy compared to like, you can make 100% return, 200% return, and making money like that, no? Number one. So it's quite boring subject in a way. Number two is that we can see in our education system, our school, in a lot of training provider out there, workshop, there's a lot talking about making money. You have people like Robert Kiyosaki, my good friend Azizi Ali, maybe Milan Doshi, Vanessa Leong. These people all advocate like how do we make money from property, stock market, but there's nobody talking about how to organize your income, your expenses, how do you grow your money, how do you protect your money. That's not
okay, and your third point with this conversation was to protect your money. How does one go about doing that?
I think to protect the money is that we need to actually identify what the risks to the money that we got. I think one of the simple risks that actually people do not realize is that putting money in the fixed deposit actually itself has got the risk. No? In fact, putting money in the FD is the risk is that you will lose the money slowly, safely, and unknowingly. No? Because you can see the money is there. Okay? But actually the actual money, the value of the 100,000 that you got there, actually is shrinking every day and every year. But you don't see it because you can still check it's still 100,000 there. You know? So that's one way to protect the value of the money is to actually get the money, only provide enough money into the fixed deposit for emergency use.
Right.
The extra of it, we must brave ourselves. Of course, to brave ourselves, we cannot be just taking a risk without knowing the risk. So we need to actually equip ourselves with more knowledge, okay, get ourselves prepared, okay, and then invest into those investments.
Okay, one final question before we go. So it's very good, you know, if you have a fixed income, but for a lot of freelancers, for example, people like us, and sometimes you don't get paid for 3 months at a time. How do you then manage your money like that? Because you never know. You say we're supposed to save 40% of your salary, but
and we've got our expenses that incur every month,
which unfortunately are constant. You know. So how then do you go about, you know, carrying out these 3 steps with a salary that's not fixed?
I think very importantly is that it's actually even more challenging, and it's even got more need for people like you actually to manage your money better.
Right.
You know? Because you have a kind of situation whereby your income may go up and come down, things like that. So, of course, you may not be able to set a very fixed monthly goal as well, how much I want to save every month. Okay, but at least you must actually give a even more challenging target to set, like every year I must save how much.
Right.
So in the months whereby you're actually doing well, that's where you need to keep aside
the
more.
money into that account.
No? And then when the money you do not have, of course, then so you need to actually access to that from your emergency fund to take care of you. So also in that case, the discipline of parking the money aside when you make the income, and at the same time building an emergency fund when you don't have the income, don't get paid.
Very important.
That is even more critical. So I would say you have even more challenging position, and you have even more need to actually look at your cash flow and accumulate the saving from there.
Right.
Thank you
very much, Mr. Yap. But of course, if you have any questions, you can always log on to www.yapminghui.com, or you can send Mr. Yap an email
at inquiries@yapminghui.com.
You can even send him an SMS, and that number is 012-754-1698. Thank you very much, Mr. Yap.
Thanks once again.
Fantastic
Most
to
welcome.
have you
I
back
hope
on the show.
Tips have been useful.
Oh, definitely. Always.
Always.
I just feel very guilty again.